Okay, ready?
Yep.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Tyrone Wiggins, who was Rain in the movie Mortal Kombat Conquest, and he also did stuff for Red Williams, who was Jax in that movie, and did stunt work for the Mortal Kombat Live Tour and for the show Mortal Kombat Conquest. Tyrone, let me
Yep.
be the first of many fans to say thank you for doing this interview.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, the first question is, how did you land the role of Rain?
Funny story. I went there just to do the stunt doubling for Lynn Williams' character, Jax. When I got there, I was hanging out on the weekends. We were filming in Ayutthaya, Thailand, which is the former capital. But on the weekends, we go to Bangkok and hang out and just relax. And during the weekend hangout time, I was hanging out with the director, John Leonetti. And he said to me, "You know what? You're a nice guy. I really like you. How'd you feel about playing a bigger role?" So I said, "Yeah, sure. Of course, I would love that." So he wanted me to read for the part of Rain. I went in and I read for it, and he liked it, and he said yes. So I went to bed thinking that I was going to wake up and go be Rain. Uh, the next morning, he contacted me and said, "Well, we have to have a talk." And I was like, "Okay." And he said, "Well, Midway, the company that owns the licensing for Mortal Kombat, was not very happy when I told them that you were going to play the character Rain." And I couldn't figure out why. I didn't have any, uh, bad things happening in my past or anything that would discredit me from portraying the character. But what he said was that because I was black, the audience might not understand that I was supposed to be the character Rain. So John Leonetti asked me. He said, "How do you feel about playing a character that's not black?" And I said, "Well, this is acting, isn't it?" So I was able to sit in a makeup chair for an hour and a half and get my face painted, this much of my face, since I was wearing a ninja mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to play the character Rain. In this day and age, you can't do blackface, or you can't, portray a different race than you are on film. This was way back in the early '90s, and also in Thailand, so we were able to get away with it.
Mm-hmm. And I know what it's like to wearing a mask because, like a ninja mask, because I actually cosplay as Scorpion from Mortal Kombat 2, the game,
Okay.
and
Right.
this is my ninja mask, and also these.
Those you can breathe a little bit better in, though. Those are
Yeah,
that model. They were a little bit more, because if you that compared to Annihilation, uh, it was all one piece, no ventilation, no. But I think yeah, Chris Casamassa had that one on in the first one. I
that
believe
is the
JJ
game.
Perry had it on in the second one. So yeah, they changed them up a little bit.
Yeah, and I noticed that Sub Zero and Rain have similar looking masks in Annihilation.
Yes, the Cabal, all of them actually were pretty much the same, but they were not very well ventilated. It's really funny because I had to record my voice when I said my lines as Rain a few times without the mask, so they could actually have something to cut into for the audio.
Yeah, like the ADR.
Mm. Yeah, because even with a microphone, when you talk like this, it's
It's
very,
all
very different. It's all muffled. Yeah. So that was a little bit of a complication, but other than that, it was fun.
yeah. What was the process of being Rain like in regards to like the costume and the makeup?
Makeup, like I said, it was an hour in the makeup chair, just getting blotted and covering up the blackness, making me look Asian. I think a lot of people thought that the character was an Asian guy, so we got away with it. Um, the costume was pretty. It was the only other downside was that it was made of lycra, and when you're doing stunts and fighting, it was okay, but during my death scene, where I was to be knocked into a pit of fire.
Yeah.
There was one almost close call. There was a line, a gas line for the fire bar, for the flame bar, that cracked, and the pit that I was supposed to fall into literally filled up with a large gas bubble of fire as I was about to jump into it one time. Had that happened with the lycra ninja suit on, it would have melted to my body completely. Like, yeah, 100% of my body would have been covered in melted plastic. So that was a little bit risky, but thankfully nothing happened.
Yeah. Would have ended up like Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars.
Yeah, yep, just froze,
Only
covered.
with all your limbs intact.
Yeah, indeed.
Um, have you ever played any of the games before, or prior, to the role?
Yeah, because before the role, I was doing the Mortal Kombat Live tour, and we traveled 200 cities throughout the U.S., South America twice, and Ireland. And a lot of times when we were on the road, all over the world, people would know that we were coming to town to do the show. So a lot of times there would be an arcade that would sponsor us visiting, and kids would try to compete against us, and we would be our characters. So I played quite a bit before the Annihilation, and some afterwards. I played recently, maybe about a year ago. I guess I played the newest version. So
Yeah. Here's a little fun fact. They're bringing back Rain for Mortal Kombat 11, and
is it
they actually are making him like black.
really?
Yeah.
After all these years, well, the Midway should call me and ask me to do at least the voiceover, if not the animated part of it. That would be fun.
Yeah. The DLC will be coming out November 17th.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I noticed that Rain and Ermac in the movie, they sound a bit robotic.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
it's like talking into a tin can.
yeah, really. Those costumes do not make for good audio. It's hard. It's hard to sound tough when you have something covering your. It's like the state of the world now with wearing masks for coronavirus. It's that also gets a little bit trying to talk quietly on the phone while on a bus while wearing a mask. It doesn't really work out so well.
Yeah, especially when they're cloth masks, it makes it hard to breathe.
Yep, indeed.
Um, was Rain supposed to be in Annihilation longer?
No, I think he was scripted to get killed for failing Shao Kahn. I think that was his whole. But with everybody being able to be brought back with the sorcery powers of Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn and everything, you die tomorrow, but you're reinvented again in the next, or 2 episodes later. So
Yeah,
that's one of the best parts about not being like or being video game based, is you get a do over, you get another
yeah,
life.
yeah. Like what was said in a documentary about Mortal Kombat. Nobody ever really dies in Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat
No, you got to be able to come back and.
because you go to NetherRealm and then there's a portal that can bring you back to the
Yep.
realms of reality.
Yes, indeed.
Um, do you maintain contact with anyone from Annihilation, the live tour, or Conquest?
Live tour, yeah. I actually just spoke with a really good friend of mine, Tracy Fleming, Carmichael Simon, Michael Lee. Who else from the? Yeah, that's
Hakeem?
pretty much it. Hakeem, I haven't talked to Hakeem Austin in a very long time, or his brother Shaw Austin. Also, I haven't spoken to the brothers for probably 15 years.
Mm. Yeah, and I actually interviewed Hakeem a while ago.
Okay, nice. Well, you have better contact with him than I do, and we traveled. We didn't travel that much on the tour because we were both playing jacks.
Mhm.
So we had two separate casts, and one started on the East Coast and one started on the West Coast. So we trained together in the Catskills, New York, to put the show together. But after the show started, we never saw each other. He was really fortunate enough to get a chance to open up in Radio City Music Hall. I did not get the chance to perform there, but yeah, I think that was one of the where his show or his cast opened in New York. But I had a lot of other memorable locations. So I did a lot of Texas. I did a lot of Chalmette, Alabama. All the everywhere else I got to do. So, and I also I was the one that went to Ireland and to Argentina. He didn't go for those. So.
Let's see here. Do you actually own a copy of the live tour?
I do not. I have actually in my basement. I have some of the memorabilia, some of the programs. I have two programs from the live show. But I did not get one. I did not get one of the amulets. They had an amulet that with all the kids they sold it to kids, and at one point in the show they had to hold them up to help give us the power to be able to defeat Shao Kahn. And I did not get an amulet, but I got some of the brochures with my pictures in it. And yeah, some of the pictures were me, and some of the pictures were Hakeem. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never got a chance to go to the live tour because I was actually grounded from Mortal Kombat for a while for reenacting some moves and stuff like that. And I should have been focusing on baseball.
Yeah, baseball and Mortal Kombat is not a good mix. I had a problem playing soccer when I played soccer as a kid because I was into martial arts all the time. I wanted to kick the ball like Bruce Lee and didn't really have any regards for the people that were also on the field. So I also had a little bit of a stint where I was sat on the bench.
Yeah, but with soccer, you're not supposed to kick with the toes. You're supposed to kick with the arch. But with the side of the foot.
Yeah, I was kicking with every part of the foot and doing like backwards backflips and trying to do bicycle kicks and kicking people in the face or chest. So yeah, they had to sit me down for a while.
Yeah, that was one of the questions. Have you ever studied martial arts?
I started when I was 9 in Okinawan style of karate. I got my black belt in that, and then I switched to Taekwondo. I competed in Taekwondo, 8-time national champion in the NASCA Federation, which is the same federation that Hakeem Austin and Chris Casamassa were part of prior to Mortal Kombat. I qualified to go to the Junior Olympics and fight in the Junior Olympic team for Taekwondo. Turned it down so that I could move to Florida to become a stuntman, and the rest is, like they say, history. I also studied Wing Chun Kung Fu, Hung Gar Kung Fu, Capoeira for 2.5 years, and I was a gymnast in high school. So yeah, all my life.
Let's see here. Let's see here. What did you enjoy most about being part of the live tour, Conquest, and Annihilation?
And the best part about it was, being a martial artist for so long, being a part of something that was so martial arts inspired and involved. That I think that was the best part about it. The live show, being able to have 2,000 or 3,000 kids psyched about seeing the characters and really getting to feel like they had a part of Mortal Kombat in their hometown. That was a very great feeling. Also being able to travel. I never went to Argentina. I have been to Dublin since, but I haven't been back to Argentina. So, and I probably wouldn't have been able to be fortunate enough to go there if it wasn't for Mortal Kombat. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Which role would you say was your favorite of them?
I think playing Jax for a long time was fun. I think that was probably the most fun. At the end of the tour, we were so inspired. What's the word? We had so much fun on tour that at the end of it, when they said, "Okay, guys, this is the last show. You guys are going home after this," I think at one point we almost felt like offering to pay them to let us continue.
Mhm.
Like we didn't want to stop, um, especially because we stopped in Dublin, Ireland, and we were supposed to go to Vietnam and where else were we supposed to go? There was another place that I was really looking forward to going, and I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. Peru. That was it. Peru and Vietnam were supposed to be after Dublin, and I was really looking forward to being able to go to both of those countries. So that was kind of a big disappointment. But being on the road was also a lot of fun. A different city or a different town, sometimes a different country. Every month, a different country. At the end of it, so yeah.
And I think that's about it. Um, yeah. That, yeah. Just looking at over the questions. Yeah, and that looks like it's about it.
All right, cool.
Okay. Thanks again for doing this interview.
No problem. My pleasure.
And